Welcome to Municipal Affairs. Last week, mayors from across Saskatchewan gathered in Regina for a very unique event, summer school. But it wasn't kind of summer school that you might be remembering. This was hosted at the University of Regina, put on by the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association. And it was a 2-day mayors only program focused on the fundamentals of municipal leadership, from governance and conflict of interest to strengthening leadership skills. Now, it was an opportunity not just to learn from expert presenters, but also to connect with fellow mayors, share ideas, and explore the challenges and opportunities that come with leading communities in the province of Saskatchewan. We caught up with SUMA President Randy Goulden after the event wrapped to talk about the summer school, check in with her about the conversations she had with fellow mayors across the province, and discuss why the idea of being stronger together remains so vital in Saskatchewan today. President Goulden, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking about, well, just actually something you just got out of, and that is the summer school that you, SUMA, put on for mayors from across Saskatchewan. What was this meeting all about?
Well, it's something that we've been doing for a few years now, and we heard this from our elected officials. So we do a mayor summer school, and every second year we open that up to councillors. So this year, right after a municipal election, it was for the mayors. And I am getting so many good comments about the presentations that we had, the opportunities for our mayors that were here. And there were just under 60 mayors that we had to be able to talk with other mayors from other areas of the province. And it's really interesting too, Chris. It doesn't seem to matter when mayors are talking what size of the community they're from. Because what I'm hearing again, which we hear so many times, is it does not matter the size. Most of the things that they need to talk with and the roles that they have are consistent across all municipalities.
Now, during the 2-day event held at the University of Regina, you had speakers from across the political spectrum. You had former mayor of Saskatoon, Charlie Kirk. You had author Ian McCormick about uncivil society. You had the Saskatchewan Ombudsman. What was the
Yes.
message that you're hoping that mayors take away from the 2-day event to go back to their communities?
Well, I think some of the messages that we definitely heard is about the roles and the responsibilities. And, really doing a check to make sure that your councils are on the roles and the responsibilities and working with administration, understanding that the public has a role to play too, but understanding that, you need to listen. And we heard that so many times. You're there to listen to what your administration might say, to learn to listen to council members, learn to listen to the public, because people just want to be heard. And that seemed to be a real message that came across. The other thing that came across are some of the responsibilities for mayors are you're there to lift up your council. Yes, you're there to make sure order exists and to get through agendas and be the spokesman, but you're also there to lift up your council because there's roles that they have to play, and sometimes it's difficult. But the other thing we heard was that it's also very rewarding at the end of the day.
You mentioned just something I wanted to touch on briefly, if you don't mind, but this event coincides with about 10 months since the last municipal election. And this is the first time you probably get the chance to just chat with mayors one-on-one as president of SUMA. What are you hearing about those first 10 months of this new term for councils across Saskatchewan? Are they positive? Is there a lot of learning curves that's going on? What did you hear?
Well, and it's interesting that you asked this question because it's also interesting of who attended this school. And first of all, they questioned some of the titles we had for the school. They would like it to be a summit. So perhaps next year it's going to be a summit, and to bring to the importance of what we were doing here. But we had about a 50-50 split with brand new mayors, first time. And some of those brand new mayors were first time mayors or first time being anything to do with council, and then more experienced and mature mayors. So we heard about that. But no matter how much experience they had, they found that, again, dealing with the public, with where we are now, coming out of the whole COVID issues that we had and decisions around that, building trust with the public, building trust with your council. So those are the kind of things that we talked about, that we heard about, and that I heard asking for help. So I really enjoyed that the presenters brought tools like understanding what the role of our Saskatchewan ombudsman is, very important, and how the ombudsman can help with some of the things that we're dealing with day to day at our councils, that they can really provide that help, and just having someone else at the end of the telephone. So that's what I was hearing over these last 2 days.
We often talk about collaboration when it comes to municipalities. When I was there the very first day of the summer
Yeah.
school or summer summit, however you want to call it,
Yeah.
um, I got a sense that no matter if you were from a big city or a small town or a small village or a medium-sized town or a medium-sized village, people are willing to just have those conversations, because what
Yeah.
is happening in a town may be similar to what's happening in a village, but
Mhm.
on a different scale. How important is collaboration to municipalities in across Saskatchewan right now?
Well, there's different ways of collaboration, and we heard a presentation from the mayor of Rosthern, Dennis Helmuth, about the Twin Rivers and what they do with, I believe it's 5 different municipalities. So that's one type of collaboration. And trust me, there was a lot of discussion around how to start that and what to look for. And could Mayor Helmuth come out and visit with them? And how did they bring rural municipalities together with urban municipalities? And how do they overcome some of those challenges that came of that? And then there were just the collaboration from the mayors that were there, and how to's. What did we do? We tried this, but it didn't work, so probably don't go down that road. And you saw the mayor of Moose Jaw, talking with, so one of the larger communities here that took part, talking with small villages, of 250 people. This is what we've learned and this is what we've experienced. And then having that go back and forth. And I think that is very, very valuable for the mayors here. But as the president of SUMA, oh, that did my heart good. Because sometimes, we hear that, oh, this part of our membership, whatever it might be, is getting more attention than this part of the membership. And it's no different than when you sit on city council. Well, my goodness, those people in that part of the neighborhood, they're getting the snow clearing better. So you need to sit down and talk to people to understand what is actually happening. And I'm so inspired now, leaving these 2 days and driving home to my community, and what can we do? And I know I'm fortunate my mayor was here, and trust me, I was part of some texts that he was sending back home to our city manager and to our council members.
So my final question, and it's a big one, but I think one that you know how to answer because you've been president and you're now president for another term. But what does SUMA mean to the membership of the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association? As president, what is the benefit? What is the thing that you are proud of that you offer your members, whether it be a
Yeah.
small town or the biggest cities of Saskatoon and Regina?
Well, first of all, I'm thrilled to get the mandate for another term as president and to be able to travel around our province. And I started doing that already in June, and I was back on the road, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. as I leave here, I was wondering, why is my purse so heavy? Well, I've got 2 jars of mustard from Gravelberg in my purse. So, I'm thrilled about that. But what does SUMA mean? Well, Chris, we've been here for 120 years. We're celebrating 120 years. Do you know what else happened 120 years ago? Saskatchewan came to be. Our province came to be. So we've been here working and helping and learning and collaborating with municipalities for 120 years. Have things changed? Oh my gosh. 120 years ago, we probably got together once a year, maybe. And how did you get here? Horse and buggy. There wasn't what we're doing here today over Zoom. There wasn't using our phones to collaborate with. So yes, SUMA has changed. But as we evolve, we are always going to change, and the engagement with our membership is critical. I'm pleased because more and more now, the advocacy that we're doing on behalf of 440 members. So from the resort villages, and the resort village of Thode was here for the 2-day training, to our larger cities, to the northern municipalities. We're able to listen, to know, to learn what's necessary to make our communities thrive. And that's what SUMA is able to provide. But we don't provide that alone. We provide that with each one of those 440 members being comfortable, picking up the phone or coming in person to tell us what they need.
So I said that was my last question, but your answer there has perked one last question for me, and that is, SUMA prides itself on being stronger together. And it's not just one municipality, it's all 440 municipalities together advocating for municipal issues as one voice. Do you believe you are stronger together with every single one of your municipalities working together for the common goal of making not only your municipality better, but Saskatchewan better?
Absolutely. And I hear that from our municipalities. That's just not my belief. Just heard that as we were saying goodbyes from the Mayor's Summer School. And that is such an interesting question, because now, especially now, and we've been looking at this the whole time I've been on the board of SUMA. One of the things in our strategic plan is strengthen our governance, strengthen our engagement. So we've done that by listening to our members. 2.5 years of collaboration on how do we do that. We've come up with the caucus model of governance, and that's what we're doing. So now when we go to government and saying, this is not working, we need more policing in our communities. And we know our major cities have their own municipal forces, but I know that Cabri, and Ebenezer and Nacum, so we can call on those neighbors, on those mayors and those council members. And if need be, they can call on their residents to help us advocate, because it's not just us. It's the people that actually mark the ballot that we know government will pay heed to.
President Goulden, always a pleasure to sit down with you and
Yeah.
chat. I look forward to our next conversation, whatever that will be.
Whenever that is, I am ready to chat with you, Chris.
Now, we were on hand on the very first day of the summer school, and we caught up with mayors from across Saskatchewan to hear directly from them about the importance of SUMA and what that first 10 months has been like as mayor of their community since the last election. First, we sat down with Lloydminster Mayor Gerald Elbers. Mayor Elbers, thank you so much for chatting. I've got a simple question to start off, and then a few questions about your municipality of Lloydminster. What does SUMA mean for a border community like Lloydminster?
SUMA is so important to us as a border community because those issues that we have in our community are very similar to the issues across Saskatchewan, as well as having that voice with SUMA to help elevate it to a provincial level. We work with our MLA and work with the respective cabinet ministers, but in the same token, when we have an issue that's happening in a village, a town, a summer village, a northern community, it's so much better when we can come together as a group and elevate that to the province and say, it's not one municipality, it's 400 plus municipalities that have an issue.
We are about 10 months after the last municipal elections in the province of Saskatchewan, which Lloydminster adheres to. How's the first few months of this term been?
I think they've been good. It's for myself. We had some new counselors come on, so it reminded me that every council is a new council. Doesn't matter if you have one returning or 7 returning. It's a new council. We've had the pleasure in our council to sit down and do some strategic planning and set the vision for the next 4 years. And I really felt great to see that council members, both experienced and new members, come together and share and openly have that discussion. It's great to see interest, and I think it's one of those processes as we continually to work through determining that position of governance, because people all want to come in, and many of them are hands-on operational people from business, their own business, or worked in business, used to getting things moving. Whereas when we move into that governance role, it's asking the questions and sort of setting the direction, but that's where it ends. And it's always a challenge. I think it's a challenge for everybody. And I find myself occasionally wanting to get out and fix a pothole because it didn't get fixed. But hey, there's processes in place, and we need to help everybody get to that point.
What does the next 3 years look like? Because we're coming up to the 1-year anniversary of this term, and what do you hope Lloydminster is by the end of this term?
Well, I think that as a city, we're going to continue to grow. And, you know, we're fortunate. Not everyone is in that position to grow their community between retail, commercial, residential, and industrial. We've started some projects in the last 8 years that I hope to see to fruition. I think there's some that have been started a lot longer than that will come to fruition. So those are always great milestones to see. You know, to say that it'll be all finished, not even a chance. But in the same token, I want to make sure as mayor, and I hope our council is of the same view, we want to continue to make it into a better position and position the next council for 2028 to be able to pick up hopefully where we've left off and either give it a slight adjustment of direction, I hope, or carry on the same direction and continue to build the community, because what we leave behind will hopefully be judged in 20 years saying, oh, they did a pretty good job.
What's the one thing you would want people to know about the city of Lloydminster what would you want one thing? Sorry, I'm going to rephrase the question. What's the one thing you would want people to know who have never been to Lloydminster to know about your community?
We have a community that just isn't 16 highway. Many people drive through our community. They stop for fuel, something to eat, and washroom break.
And taking photos of the border.
And taking photos of the border markers, standing with your 1 foot in each province. But our city is so much more than that. We're an agricultural hub. We had a canola crushing plant there for a number of years. We make the world's best asphalt right on the north end of Lloydminster, Alberta. In Saskatchewan, we have an upgrader that brings wealth to both provinces and the federal government, in essence, all taxpayers each and every day. We have a bustling retail and business support, and healthcare will continue to work on as a regional healthcare provider from that perspective. So it's a community more than just passing through. And I invite people to come and see, and I know you've seen it, Bud Miller All Seasons Park, 200-acre park inside the city. It doesn't rival Wascana as an example here, but we do have a lake. We have year-round recreation. We have an amenity, and we have people that are deeply caring about the city of Lloyd, but also which province they live in, because they're pretty proud to be a Saskatchewanite or an Albertan. But you know, it's and when you have so many football teams to choose from, and even a few.
Which one do you root for?
Well, as a Saskatchewan-born stubble jumper, as it's referred to by some, green and white is what I grew up with in the tractor cab.
Mayor Albert, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Chris. Thanks for being here. It's always a pleasure.
Next, we caught up with Grand Coulee Mayor Leanne Ross. Mayor, thank you so much for chatting with us. Simple question, very simplistic one, but what does the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association mean to a community like Grand Coulee?
Oh boy, they have helped me a lot over the last little while because we are in a CAO search. They provide me with a lot of information on how to run our council meetings, information on what's going on in the world and in Saskatchewan and what should be important to me as a council member.
And we are
I would say 9 months by the time this airs or about 10 months from the last municipal election. How's been the transition from last term to this term been?
Yeah, going from a counselor to the mayor, I thought this is going to be fairly easy because our previous mayor made it seem so easy to me, I thought, but it's a lot of work. Now I'm the person that when some decision isn't favorable, people email me or they stop me at the grocery store or walking down the street and have concerns. It feels like it's all on my shoulders when I know it's on our whole council's shoulders to support and make good decisions, but it really feels like a heavy burden. It's a bit different, but I'm trying.
Do you enjoy it?
Some days.
It's an answer I get often on when I
Yeah.
ask that question.
If I can really get some of the things done that I want to do, the visions that I have, and move things forward and help us be progressive and come together as a community and support each other, then I will have accomplished my mission. And yeah, it's going to be great. And I will be really happy in my role.
So one last thing, and this is the big question. Describe Grand Coulee to be someone who's never been to your community.
We're small. We're only 8 kilometers from Regina to the west. We don't have a lot of services. Actually, we have very few, but it's a very peaceful, calm, loving community. We don't have a lot of crime. We have some great parks. We have a hoedown in September that brings everybody out.
When in September?
September 20th.
Okay, mark it on your calendars, everyone.
Yeah, it's like a full day event. We have a parade. It's actually called the Bunnock and Bonfire, Boots, Bunnock and Bonfires Hoedown. And we've got bouncy castles, we have a band, we have food and entertainment, games for the kids. It's a great day and it's pretty much free other than if you want to buy a 50-50 ticket or some food. And everybody comes out. It's so fun.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, the kids look forward to it. Like if you ask a child in Grand Coulee what their favorite day of the year is, they're going to tell you that it's a hoedown. They're not going to say Christmas or Easter or a big holiday like that or summer holidays. They're going to tell you it's a hoedown.
So why do you think that is? Because there must be something in the air then.
Well, everybody comes together. Everybody sees each other. Everybody has fun. The kids can run around. They're safe. They get to do activities. The parents get to mingle and enjoy each other. And it just brings the community together.
Mayor, thank you so much for doing this.
We also had the opportunity to sit down and chat with Kevin Kay, Mayor of Wawota, Saskatchewan.
What does the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association mean to the people and to the municipality of Wawota?
What it means is that there's an organization that helps bind us together, provides all kinds of support for us that a lot of us coming into these kind of positions have no idea what we're getting ourselves into, and just provides resources, provides support groups, other opportunities so we can grow in our positions, that we do it professionally, and that, there's other opportunities to collaborate with other organizations and other municipalities as well.
We are roughly about 10 months since the last municipal election. How's the new term getting off the ground?
Very good. I actually have 3 new councillors on my council and very, very excited about the opportunities to come in the next few years as we conclude this term. We're pretty excited about what's happening in Wawota and looking forward to some big projects, some small projects, and just doing what we need to do to make our community great.
So what are some of those big and small projects? Just quickly, what are the top ones that you're looking forward to getting accomplished?
We're looking at a new sewer lift, which is big for us. The one we have is
At the end of its age?
We're getting close, and it isn't completely kaput yet, but it's getting close. We're looking at a new organization structure for our municipality, for our town, getting more involvement of other community members in boards and committees and other opportunities to help our community grow as well. So those are the big ones, plus all the ongoing things as well, paving streets, looking after our curbs, and, looking after our ratepayers as best we can.
What's the one thing you would want someone to know who's never been to Wawota that they should know?
The one thing they need to know is that we are truly a community, that if there are people that are in need, we are there to help. probably demonstrated the best with the Ukrainian project that we've had going in the last little while. Of course, in the last 3 years, we've had an influx of Ukrainians. Wawota is not known for our Ukrainian population, but we made a concerted effort to recruit and promote Wawota to have Ukrainians come to our town. And the community rallied around that with money support, with furniture, with household items, with kitchen items, all sorts of things. And so we've been able to help out Ukrainian families who are in desperate needs, being relocated here in our province. And we believe relocated to the best community in Southeast Saskatchewan. So we're pretty excited about those opportunities.
So where does that come from? Where does that desire to help the fellow man come from in Wawota, do you think?
Wawota has always had this sense of perseverance and community-minded people. And we're pretty excited about that. It's come from some pretty desperate times, but then those desperate times have led to some pretty good times. And so there's that sense of just helping out your neighbor, helping out in times of real need, not just perceived need, but real need, and just digging in and getting it done, which, that rural mindset that there's things that have to be accomplished, so let's get it done.
Mayor, always a pleasure.
Always.
And finally, we caught up with Sharon Schoenberg, Mayor of the town of Assiniboia.
Mayor, thank you so much for chatting with me. Simple question to start off. What does SUMA mean to Assiniboia?
SUMA means connection. SUMA means being a part of something, a community, being able to reach out like this event today, to network, to be connected, feel connected, to be a part of something.
We are 10 months after the last municipal election here in the province of Alberta, or province of Saskatchewan, not Alberta. Oops, that tells you how many people I talk to on a day-to-day basis. But when you're looking back on those first 10 months of this term, how's it been?
It's been fast. It's hard to believe that we've almost gone another year. And I'm very thankful because, of course, we didn't end up having an election. We were all acclaimed. So for a lot of us, we continued on the process. We continued on our path. We have the same management team. We have the same crew. So for us, it was a continuation of projects. And I'm so excited because we have so much more to bring to the community, and we can continue on the path. So the next 3 years, we won't call them normal years because we'll be going top speed again, but we have so many things to accomplish, and I'm very excited. So the future looks good for Assiniboia.
What is the priority number one to get accomplished in this term for yourself?
Well, we just finished after 5 years, and that was part of it. I got to see come to fruition is our $11 million paving project with Highway 2 and Highway 13. In mostly part thanks to our provincial government and the Ministry of Highways. So we're having a big shindig in September to celebrate that, because the last time there was a shindig of that sorts for the new pavement was September 10th, 1960. So 65 years. But that, that whole project, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of conversations, a lot of collaborations. But we had a really great team down there, and it was fantastic. So we carry on now. We check that off our list. And now we focus on water and sustainability in our community. So, in addition to day to day, now we're looking at ideas for our water plant. How do we make our water better? How do we sustain it for the future? So one of our top projects, so I want to see that come along and have some progress by the end of our term.
So I'm about to come to Assiniboia next week.
Are you?
I am, because I'm traveling
excited.
across southern Saskatchewan. What would you want someone who has never been to Assiniboia to know about your community that they don't know?
What they don't know? Oh my God. We're very progressive. Maybe any community can say they're progressive, but the amount of things or facilities or things to do that we can offer any average person. We have a world-renowned art gallery. We have a $20 million recreational facility that's bought and paid for. NHL size arena. We have the Prince of Wales complex where we're having the mixed national championships in November. We have a Dairy Queen now. We have we
I
have
like how
there's-
that journey went from $20 million NHL arena to Dairy Queen.
And
you
you
got your
know, and
priorities
you know,
there.
we always want. I know, Chris, right? Because I'm all about the food, but it's promoting business and being open for business, supporting local. But just come and walk our streets and see our businesses, our home-based businesses, our businesses that are locally owned by people. You got to check that, and you got to feel how amazing our people are, because that's our best asset in the community is our people.
Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Municipal Affairs. Now, we hope you've enjoyed today's conversations and gained some valuable insights into the world of mayoralship in the province of Saskatchewan. Be sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platforms or by visiting us on YouTube at Cross Border Network. Your support means the world to us. So if you can, share this episode with your friends, your family, and yes, even your communities, and help keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and we will be back with a brand new episode of Municipal Affairs shortly. Till then, everyone.